Udonis Haslam. I'm Chineo Gwumake in for the one and only Malika Andrews. And y'all, the last stretch of the season is upon us with the Lakers hosting the Hornets Wednesday night across the street. But the big question is, when will LeBron play after missing the All-Star game? Here's LeBron on why he didn't play.
You know, with 30 games left and us trying to make a playoff push in the Wild Wild West, I felt like it's very important for me to kind of take care of myself and understand, you know, what's coming on. There will be no vacation for me. So I head back to LA tonight and, you know, back to rehab tomorrow and getting ready for practice on Tuesday. And hopefully I can play against Charlotte on Wednesday and hopefully play against, you know, Portland on Thursday. So it's a big stretch for us.
No vacation for LeBron. Also, no vacation for our senior insider, Shams Charania, with a developing story. So, Shams, what's the latest on LeBron's status with the Lakers set to play tomorrow against the Hornets?
Shanae, I'm told that LeBron James will be reevaluated later today, and there is optimism that he can be able to play in at least one of the next two games, against Charlotte at home on Wednesday or Thursday in Portland. But what the Lakers are weighing here is, on one hand, the importance of the Luka Doncic-LeBron James chemistry and what that will signify for the second half of the NBA season. But also, the other side of it is weighing potentially sitting LeBron James against these two lesser opponents in Charlotte and Portland. And as opposed to him playing, they could be looking at 9 days of total rest between last Wednesday's game in Utah and Saturday night's game against the Denver Nuggets. And when you have a 40-year-old, year 22 LeBron James, those are the types of questions and elements you have to look at in terms of deciding what is the best route with LeBron James, who appears to be with a day-to-day injury right now.
So they're trying to weigh building chemistry in Los Angeles, LeBron James and Luka Doncic versus potential 9 days of rest for LeBron James. Thanks so much, Shams. I know it was a trade deadline and also All-Star break. I hope you get a couple of days to rest yourself. We always appreciate you, Shams. Now, LeBron, at age 40, has only missed 4 games this season. UD, how much do you trust LeBron and Luka to really make a deep playoff run?
It's gonna be based on the matchups. I mean, right now they're sitting in 5. If they can get up to 4, I like them having home court in the first round. I don't see them getting past the Western Conference Finals when you see a situation where they're going to have to face a Joker. They're going to have to face a combination of Chet and Hartenstein in the Western Conference Finals. So for me, that small ball can only get them so far. I love the versatility that they have on the wings where they can guard different guys in different matchups. Offensively, I think that Luka and LeBron will figure it out. Austin Rivers will be the wild card. What he brings to the table will help as well. But I think defensively, having a big down there in the paint and being able to get it done in the physicality part is where they're going to fall short.
Perk, what's their ceiling, the Los Angeles Lakers?
Well, look, Shanae, first of all, let me congratulate you on something. You know what I'm saying? The ambassador, first female ambassador of Africa, you know what I mean, doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? Big things, big things. You know what I'm saying? But look, here's the thing. Can we look at the bigger picture here? And going off of what Shams reported, gives him 9 days of rest, and what LeBron James said, making a legit playoff push. I believe that their ceiling is the conference finals, due because the lack of depth that they have in the interior. But here's the thing. You know this. LeBron James is 100% in with this Lakers organization right now. Not only did he get the coach that he wanted for this season, by the way, J.J. Redick has been killing it, but he wants J.J. Redick to be successful because that's the coach he wanted. Also, on top of that, think about this for a second. Luka has given more life to LeBron James. We watched Jimmy Butler put smiles on Draymond Green's face and Steph's face, and we're watching them have a certain type of belief. I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron James don't add on extra years on his career because of Luka. Like, this has completely given LeBron James a different perspective on how he probably views the Laker organization and how he wants to move forward as far as the extended time that he may play. So, again, I'm looking at this team, and it's all about matchups. UD said it. It's all about matchups. And at any given time, you got Luka and LeBron on the same team, they're going to be head hunting and searching guys out to get the matchups that they want.
But Perk, the list for LeBron being happy is longer than that. He's playing with his son, he got his coach, and then now he's playing with Luka Doncic. And I know you're laughing because I was hitting your move earlier. That's your move, but it's all good. LeBron and Luka, they definitely have their hands full the final stretch of the season, especially with what we have seen around the association. So let's go coast to coast, starting with the reigning champs. The Celtics, they find themselves second in the East, 5.5 games out from the first place Cavs. However, Boston has the edge head-to-head as they have won 2 of the 3 games played in Cleveland. So, Perk, should they still be the favorites to rep the East in the finals?
They should be the favorites to win it all. I mean, we're talking about the defending champs, the best starting 5 in basketball when healthy. They returned every single person on their roster, and when you look at their depth, the bench has gotten better. Peyton Pritchard might win 6th Man of the Year. They don't care if they're on the road or at home. They're going to win games.
How about from the reigning champs to the champs of 2023? The Denver Nuggets have the longest win streak in the league with 8 games. UD, they are certainly finding their stride, only a half game out from second. How dangerous are they with 27 games left?
I know exactly how dangerous this team can be in full stride. I've seen it firsthand with the best two-way players that we feel in this league with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. I saw the trouble that they had guarding a healthy Joker and a healthy Murray. With this team healthy, I think they can go back and turn the clock back a little bit where they beat us in the finals, and they got a chance. I don't think nobody wants to see Denver in the playoff series at all.
Or Jokic, but sticking in the West, the OKC Thunder lead the conference with a franchise record 44 wins before All-Star break. SGA is the favorite to win MVP, according to ESPN Bet. Perk, is the MVP a done deal?
Look, Shanae, my grandparents used to say to me every night at dinner, boy, you better finish that food. Damn it, he got to finish his food. It's not over until it's over. It's a lot of games left. He got to keep going. But right now, yes, he should be the front runner. But Jokic is definitely on his heels like a pair of church socks.
Let's stick with number ones. From first in the West to first in the East, the Cavaliers are tied with the Thunder for the best record in the league. They need to win 23 of their last 28 games for the Cavs' franchise record in wins. UD, do you think they stay atop of the East?
I don't know. They got some work to do. I'm just looking at Boston right now, and I see Boston licking their chops. They're a team right now who in the second half of the season has the 3rd easiest record to finish the season right now. They got the Nets twice. They got the Jazz twice. They got Charlotte twice. So Boston coming down this stretch right now is just sharpening their sword and getting themselves ready for the playoffs. I don't think it's going to be an easy run just for Cleveland to finish out this Eastern Conference as easy as everybody think it will be.
And UD, since you're talking about the playoffs, here's a look at the full Eastern Conference standings. The Celtics, Knicks, Bucks, Pistons hold playoff spots, while the Magic, Hawks, Heat, and Bulls round out the top 10. Now, all the way in 11th, the Philadelphia 76ers, 1.5 games out from the last play-in spot. Now, in the West, trailing the Thunder are the Grizzlies, the Nuggets, my Rockets. The LA teams are in the top 6, while the Wolves, Mavs, Kings, and Warriors are in the play-in picture. The Suns are currently on the outside looking in. We'll get KD's thoughts on that in a little bit. Now, Perk, I want to start with you. What is your single biggest question heading into the final stretch of the season?
Well, let's have a conversation. The single biggest question is, who are the Milwaukee Bucks? Right? You have Giannis and Dame that are playing at an all-NBA level. They went out at the trade deadline and went got a third option guy in Kyle Kuzma, who's, by the way, a champion. You go and add depth to your bench by going get Kevin Porter Jr. This team is on the clock. And although we're talking about the Cavs and the Celtics and the Knicks in the Eastern Conference, who are the Milwaukee Bucks? I'm going to tell you who they should be. They should be a team that at least get to the conference finals without no question. Other than that, it's a failed season. So, again, I'm leaning on you, Shanae, and UD to help me elaborate here about the Bucks and what the future look like if they don't accomplish certain goals or get into certain ceilings. Is Giannis going to come disgruntled?
UD?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, Perk. You know this about young teams. They don't know what they don't know. And right now, them boys in Detroit don't know no better. They on Milwaukee ass like Huggies right now. And what they're looking at as a team who's slipping, who's clawing, and then they going into the All-Star break winning 4 in a row. They over 500 for the first time since 2009, and they got a young superstar in Cade Cunningham. It's only 7 guys in this league that's averaging at least 25, 5, and 5. He's one of them. You put him in the conversation with Giannis. You put him in the conversation with Joker. You put him in the conversation with Tatum. So if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, I'm looking at the Detroit Pistons that's right behind me, and the Detroit Pistons looking at the Milwaukee Bucks as food. I think Milwaukee in trouble. They got their hands full. They got the seventh toughest schedule to finish out the season right now.
But UD, is that your biggest question the second half of the season?
No, that ain't my biggest question. Now, my biggest question is OKC tough enough? We understand they got the talent. We understand they got the coaching. We understand that they got close last year. But the toughness thing is, I think, what people feel like they can get OKC. I think that most teams feel, the Bostons feel, even teams like the Lakers feel, teams like Cleveland feel. If they can get OKC in a 7-game series and they make it physical and they put this team in the mud, I feel like teams feel like they can come out on top. I also feel like OKC felt like this was a weakness that they needed to address in the summer, and that's why they went out and got Hartenstein.
Yeah, OKC has the opportunity to win a championship, also have one of their players be MVP. That's cute. So, Perk, you go with the Bucks. UD, you go with OKC. I'm surprised none of y'all said Phoenix, the Suns, because still to come on NBA Today, our exclusive interview with Kevin Durant. I promise, the face of the league. Anthony Edwards has to be near the top of your list. Ant-Man is among the best players in the league under 25. He was in San Francisco last weekend for his 3rd straight All-Star nod. While he sat out of the game with a groin injury, he still, you know him, got on the mic.
Do you consider yourself the top candidate to be the next face of the league?
No, not really.
Why?
That's what they got. That's what they got Wemby for.
Tell the truth. You can and will be that guy.
Well, I'm capable of being that guy, but I don't want to be that guy. Put it like that. I want to be the guy to just show up and hoop and just kill dudes and go home.
Perk, you have been the biggest advocate for Ant taking the reins as the next face of the NBA, but does it bother you that it seems like he doesn't want the title?
Hell yeah, it bothers me. And why not? Why not? Look, Anthony Edwards, not only does he have the game, he has the personality. Everyone loves him. Like, what else? I mean, like, it's sitting there right in the palm for you to go and grab. Why not go get it? Why not build your entity or your brand up to $1 billion like a LeBron James or a Steph Curry? Anthony Edwards have all the qualifications to be the next face of the league. I don't believe him one bit. He's in Sprite commercials. He's in Adidas commercials. He's doing everything under the sun that you could possibly imagine. It's right there for him to get. And plus, Udonis, you know this. He's every former player's favorite player, man. We want Anthony Edwards to be the face of the league. I don't know one former player who doesn't love Anthony Edwards.
I want Anthony Edwards to be his best version. So whatever that looks like for him, that's what I want Anthony Edwards to be. Everybody can't perform with all that responsibility. I know me for certain. I was a guy who I didn't play well when I was liked. I preferred not to be liked. I preferred not to have friends. Anthony Edwards might prefer that underdog role. Anthony Edwards might prefer that underdog mentality. I'm a huge Rocky guy, and I remember in Rocky 3, as soon as Rocky got that title and got that money in his pocket, Mr. T came through and put a whooping on him like he caught him stealing mangoes out his yard. So maybe Anthony Edwards is a guy who does not want to relax. He does not want that title. He does not want that throne. He wants to continue to look up at guys and say, they're above me. I want to chase these guys. And that just gives him something to continue to push for. Just creating those mindsets. And you know this, like MJ used to do. MJ used to create all kinds of crazy scenarios in his mind just so he could be his best version. Perk, me and you wasn't the nicest guys. And if we was nice, we probably wouldn't have played as long as we played. So everybody ain't got to be nice.
Perk, you want to respond?
Yeah, look, I'm not asking him. Yeah, I do. I'm not asking him to be nice, UD, but what I'm telling him is, listen, he wants to be liked. You need to be liked. You know why? Because he has a signature shoe out there that every kid want to go buy and a lot of fans want to go buy, right? Everybody wants to go buy Anthony Edwards jersey. And you know why? Because he's not fake. He's authentic. And in today's game, when we're talking about in 2025, people are looking for the real, and he's the realest they get. So we know what we're going to get on a day-to-day with Anthony Edwards. This is not back in 2003 or 2006 or 7 when LeBron took over the league because he had to follow certain guidelines. Right now, Adam Silver has become the commissioner, and he's allowed guys to be the best version of themselves and what they want to be.
Well, two things can be true. One, Perk, I love that you say he's your favorite player's favorite player. But UD, you also mentioned Michael Jordan. And I feel like he doesn't want to put the cart ahead of the horse. Like, he wants to win. He wants to be an MVP. He wants to be a champion before you start saying, hey, I've earned face of the league. I think it's earned, not given, right? But regardless, he's must-see basketball. Anthony.
He'll be a senior in high school. His buddies are getting ready for prom in a few months, but he's dominating college basketball.
Yo. First of all, that breakdown elite. You're giving me a run for my money on this show. And yes, I can't even think about my own image of prom. I can only imagine yours. But big picture, the draft is loaded, especially in the top 5. Who are the franchise-altering talents that have most stood out to you?
Now, NBA teams aren't just excited about Cooper Flagg. They've also been really impressed with the rest of the top 5, as well as the entire first round, which is looking very deep right now. Let's start with Dylan Harper from Rutgers. Jumbo point guard at 6'6", with outstanding ball handling ability, passing creativity, finishing ability, and all-around scoring instincts at 18 years old. He's looking very likely at number 2. After him, Ace Bailey, 6'10", incredible shot maker, all-around scorer, also 18 years old. The game has really slowed down for him as the college season has moved on. NBA teams love his explosiveness and the fact that he can make shots from anywhere on the floor. Now behind him, Baylor's VJ Edgecombe, perhaps the best athlete in college basketball, but has really improved his ball handling ability, his perimeter shooting. He's got great instincts on both ends of the floor. He's a competitor. And at 5, Kasparas Jakutshonis from Illinois. Sleeper at 6'6", Lithuanian with a great feel for the game, can make every pass out of pick and roll, big-time shot maker. Huge game coming up this Saturday between Illinois and Duke, Madison Square Garden. I'll be there, obviously. We've got a big-time month of college basketball coming up. I hope people don't wait until the NCAA tournament to tune in. There's some great ball being played right now.
They will. Thank you so much for stopping by and highlighting the future. But how about the present? Coming up on NBA Today, our exclusive.
Coming back to Oakland is something that was sort of floated. And I just wanted to read you this quote from Steve Kerr. He said, "I don't blame Kevin one bit for not wanting to rerun things here. He took so much for like, oh, you're jumping on the bandwagon, and then he's the finals MVP 2 years in a row, and he still gets criticized. Why would he want to face all that BS again?" What do you think of that?
People talk crazy about me all the time, you know? Like, that's not the reason why I didn't want to come back. I just didn't want to get traded midway through the season. And it was nothing against my time with the Warriors, or I heard because I don't like Draymond. At the end of the day, I just didn't want to move, and I wanted to see it through with my team in Phoenix and see what we could do the rest of the season. So I'm glad I'm still there.
How does the second half of the season shape your outlook for even beyond this year? Moving mid-season is one thing. Moving in the summer is maybe something else.
You got to ask front office about that. I mean, I never planned on leaving and moving, getting traded. I didn't ask for a trade from Phoenix. But obviously, when you pay so much for a team and we're not playing up to our expectation, and somebody has to go, So, you probably should check in with those guys in the front office throughout the rest of the season and see how they feel about the team. I know that I'm going to keep trying to bring my best every single day, and I let the higher-ups focus on what's next.
Oh, what a move by Durant. But for those waiting for Kevin Durant to slow down, Katie Trey is still a bucket.
One of the top 10 players to ever play the game of basketball.
You've been a part of big threes, big fours, whatever you want to call them. How do you reflect on what you have built and are trying to build in Phoenix?
We expect a lot out of ourselves individually, and it just hasn't materialized the way we wanted to. It was disappointing to see our fans and people who watching the game want more from us, but we can't think about that. We got to think about the day ahead of us and trying to get better and figure out how we're going to win the next game and go on from there.
You're in year 17. Somehow the time has gone by that fast. Do you think about how much longer you want to do this, that you want to play?
Yeah, I think about it all the time. I mean, we're in a young man's game, and I hear about my age every day, but I'm still having fun preparing for games, preparing for practices, and being a teammate, being a coach who I still enjoy all that stuff. So I don't see an end right now, but it could happen, it could not. But I'm just locked in on the next day.
Anything about the legacy you want to leave on the game? When people say Kevin Durant, you're one of the greats. What do you want people to say?
I just want you to respect the game. I want you to have fun watching my game, because if you pull up footage, 20 years from now, I want you to really enjoy those 3 or 4 minutes you watching me play. And hopefully when they look at me, they can see that somebody who has a growth mindset, who's been expanding his game since day one. Some people want to be looked at as a worker, to be honest. Somebody that's going to come in here and do what's required to help the team. Everything else after that is just icing on top.
Man, I love KD. He is a hooper's hooper. UD, what is your biggest takeaway from that conversation?
He out of there. He out of there when the summertime come. I mean, anytime you start referring to the front office as them and the higher-ups and the guys upstairs, then that means there's a disconnect, because it's usually we and us. So if you're not using those words, then we in the locker room understands what that means. You have separated yourself from the front office. And if you separate yourself from the front office, eventually they're going to separate you from the locker room. So we understand where this is going. I got to agree with Perk. I was a little bit hesitant, but this has been a failed project. This just has not worked out for the front office. This hasn't worked out for KD. He's not happy. I'm sure Book's not happy. This has not worked out for anybody. Nobody is happy with this situation right now. And understanding KD and where he's at right now, I say this all the time. If your best player is your hardest worker, then you got something to work with. KD is your best player, and he's your hardest worker. But he is not the leader some of us might want him to be. But that's okay. That's splitting hairs, because you got other guys in the locker room who can take that leadership role. So I'm not putting all that leadership on KD. Other guys can definitely take that role. Like you said, Chiney, he is your favorite hooper's favorite hooper. KD going to show up and play. He going to bring it through hell or hot water. You're going to get the best version of KD if he can come out there and play for you. So he's going to take care of that. I'm with KD on this one, man. We can't put all this one on him.
You're basically saying he's like compartmentalizing his emotions. He's going to go out there and do his job. But Perk, he said in this interview that he wants his legacy to be as a worker. Is that the legacy you will remember KD for?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, if we had to point at a player that says, when it comes down to the saying of let the results speak for themselves, that's Kevin Durant from an individual standpoint. No one is going to ever question Kevin Durant work ethic. To me, he's the greatest scorer to ever touch the damn basketball. He's efficient. He has zero flaws offensively when it comes to putting the ball in the basket. He has the mid-range game. He has a post game. He has the 1-2 dribble hezzy pull-up from the tray ball. Whatever you want, he got, and he does it at an efficient level. Here's the thing about KD, right? That just because someone challenged you to be a leader, don't run away from it. I've watched Kevin Durant elevate his game from a leadership standpoint when I was at OKC, when he was an MVP on the floor. I watched Kevin Durant move to the point forward position and put Serge Ibaka in position to be knocking at the door of potentially being an all-star. That's the year when Russell Westbrook was out. I watched Kevin Durant make me better. Well, my points per game went from 4 points a game to about 11 points a game because he was facilitating. He was on a hell of a run. He was carrying that team. Russell Westbrook was out. He elevated his game both on and off the floor. So when I call KD out and say, hey, I want you to be the leader of this team because y'all have the pieces. You have Bradley Beal. You have Devin Booker. You went out and you got Tyus Jones. You went out and you got Plumlee and the young kid Richards. You got a new coach. Can you elevate in the area where you could get this team to respond where not only your individual production is out there, but the team production results in wins? And that's the only thing. But Kevin Durant will be known as, one of the greatest scorers, in my eyes, the greatest scorer to ever touch the damn basketball.
But Perk, if that's Book team and they leaning on Book and he's the guy who's going to be the cornerstone if you was looking to move KD at some point because he was the guy who had some leverage for you, then why can't Book be the leader? If KD is going to be your best player, then why can't Book be the leader? Because in Miami, we believed in leadership at all levels. It didn't just have to be one person. It could be anybody. If they were saying the right thing, then we always get on the right side of that.
And that's why when we talk about failed experiment, it's not just on Kevin Durant's shoulders. It's the entire squad. I mean, KD, he's in the 30K club when it comes to points. He's top 8 all time in scoring. Yet still, the Suns are on the outside looking in for the West play-in tournament. And the amount of star power truly showcases why the postseason in the NBA is so tough to make. The Suns find themselves a game and a half out from the 10th place spot where the Warriors have with 28 games to go. So, speaking of the postseason, let's line it up, Perk. Perk, what do you have today for your big list? Go ahead, Perk.
Oh, with teams most of...
Yeah. Wait, is something going
Put
on?
it up there at number 5.
No.
I'm here.
No. You got nothing. You got nothing because you guys are my bros. But today, you left me all alone in studio, so I am taking over. It's not UD's list. It's not Perk's list. It's my list. Chiney's big list of teams with the most to lose this season. You heard the sound. I got you, Perk. I got you, Perk.
What we did wrong?
All right, get this. I mean business, right? I mean business. At number 5. Yeah, you heard that. Philadelphia. They better enjoy and milk all of the Super Bowl vibes because on the hardwood, things have not gone according to plan. They are at 5 because they've already lost the most amongst teams on my list, currently tied for 11th in the East. They have only 13 games this year where the Big Three has played. So either they win and make a run, or they might just punt to next year. You see the Super Bowl pun? Because their pick is top 6 protected. All right, since this is my list, Perk, I want you to get us going. Give me a sound. Give me a bam.
Bam!
Yes,
Put it
sir.
up there.
Put it up there. At 4, I've got the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors, they're coming off of hosting All-Star. They're hoping to really carry the celebrations moving forward. They made a major move. They got Jimmy Butler, which has worked so far. The Warriors are 3-1 in games he has played. But Steph is 37 next month. Jimmy is 35. Draymond turns that same age March 4th. So the timeline is aligned, but it is very short. All right, you get the vibes. UD, you're next. Let me hear you go bam.
Mine's a little different. I'm going to hit you with the boom.
Oh, okay, you're right. Boom. Boom goes the Bucks. Somehow Milwaukee has flown under the radar, but they are right now a playoff team, 5th in the East. Now, they made a win-now move by adding Kyle Kuzma to help with their scoring, but there is pressure because the Bucks, they have the highest scoring duo in the NBA between Dame and Giannis at a combined, almost 60 points per game. But if they can't take down the Celtics, the Cavs, the Knicks, will they look to shake it up once again? All right, I'm going to come back with the sound effects because you know me. At number 2, put it up there. The Mavericks. And since we're talking about win now, that is the motto of this new look Maverick squad. But ever since the trade, things have been falling apart with their big men. No AD, no Lively, no Gafford. All of their rim protection gone. All of the pressure after trading Luka, it's on. And the Mavs, their window is the next 2 or 3 years. Can Kyrie really keep them afloat? Or will there still be those protests outside of American Airlines Center? All right, guys, at number 1, here we go. The Phoenix Suns, the team with the most to lose right now. It has to be the Suns because their window, it's really looking like the next 28 games. I mean, things are getting heated in the Valley. They shot their shot for Jimmy, but they bricked, and it ticked off their generational star in Kevin Durant. Now, Bradley Beal, his no-trade clause made things complicated. The most expensive team in basketball, the biggest learning lesson for owners, is at crossroads with no clear direction in sight, sitting at 11th in the West, and Phoenix is outside of the play-in. They need to figure it out fast, or this offseason could be very spicy. Okay, this is Chiney's list. How did we do? How did we do, guys? Did you like my list?
I liked it, but I didn't love it, Chiney. Let me say why. First of all, the 76ers already, they done lost everything already, right? There's no way they could bounce back in this season. Joel Embiid is not going to be healthy. So, you know, the most to lose, they done already lost everything.
That's
so there's no way
that
they could regroup and even yeah, but I'm just saying, that's the only problem that I have. I said I liked it.
Okay, you liked it, just didn't love it. How about you, UD?
I like your list. I probably would have switched Golden State and Phoenix. I feel like Golden State with that trade and Draymond put that big-ass target on their back, that, you know, now they got the most to lose, telling everybody they're going to win the championship. So I would have put them with the most to lose with that target Draymond done put on their back now.
Okay, shout out to our director, Matt, who had the perfect sound effects for my list.